Right, good morning fisher people, I'm Alan Norris from FishOn TV. It is Saturday the 8th of March, we're just about to have a look here, the 8th of March, and I've just arrived at Hallcroft Fishery for the open match, and as you've seen I've drawn peg 52 on the island. Apparently there's supposed to be some fish here, I don't know, I think I prefer peg 6 or an end peg further down there, definitely. Andy Kinder says it's alright that, he says there's some fish there, so we'll see. No, every time I've seemed to have drawn this area, I've not particularly done that well. But the main reason I'm here, I think I've mentioned it in the past. I came on Thursday and had a fish on Croft and caught some big fish later on. It seemed very barren during the day, and then a typical thing, 3 o'clock onwards, started catching. So whether that's going to be the same here, I just don't know. I'm not setting the pole up or anything. As you all know, I've got the golden rod final in a few weeks, so it's mainly going to be method. I might set my pellet waggler rod up with looking at the weather. Looks like high pressure, so I might set a pellet waggler rod up. It's going to be method to the far bank, method or bomb down the middle, method in margins. I'm just wanting to keep in touch with what's happening, and it seems like a pattern throughout a lot of fisheries. Like this year's been particularly difficult for skimmers everywhere. You know, even the prolific like Larford Lakes has not been producing the silvers that it used to do. It's been rock hard here at Hallcroft and at Lindholm for any of the silver fish. So it's just a case of keep going fishing, keep fishing for those big carp. Let's see what's happening, get a feel for how the fish are feeding, what they're wanting, what they're taking. I've noticed this last few days they seem to be wanting a few more pellets. So, you know, I've got some 8 mils here which I might use for waggler, but Andy Kinder says don't feed them. I'm not so sure. You know, I trust what he says, but I'm here for a practice to get a feel for what's happening. Obviously I still want to win the match, but it's just getting to know what the fish, they're definitely moving about. They've definitely just started coming in margins, which has happened over the last 2 weeks. I'm just wanting to get a feel for what's happening to give me confidence in how I'm hoping to approach the golden rod. And I'll keep fishing at least twice a week right up until the final, just to keep in touch with the changes that are happening on different waters, and I'm pretty sure very similar things will be happening down at Larford. It's just how it seems to work for some reason, don't know why, it just does. That's my way of sort of keeping in the know of what hopefully what you think the fish are wanting. So that's why I'm here. Let's get the rod set up, let's get fishing, and we'll see if we can get a nice little video out of it. So we'll see you guys during the match on the bank. Right, peg 52. I didn't realise I'm faffing about getting stuff ready. I didn't realise all in were 10:15. It's normally 10:30, and they'd been in 15 minutes before I started. So anyway, we're fishing well for, so there's lots of time, and I've not seen out caught really. I've heard somebody foul-hooked one down there. I've got Brian Sullivan to my left and Brian Buckner to my right. Character that lad, I'll tell you. Even though I was told there was some fish round here, these guys reckon there isn't. So we'll see. We'll see how we get on today. So my plan, I've clipped a bit. It's a little bit shorter this side. That's where it is round there. It's 40 metres to the far bank. Well, I'm just short of it, so it's probably 42 max to that far bank from here. And what I've decided to do, I've just gone short, just for now, just down here, about 8 metres. It's just past the silt, it's just past the rubble. I've probably gone about 6 to 8 metres. I've not clipped it up because it's carp that we're after, and I've just got a method on with micros and a wafter. And my plan is I'm going to ping some pellets here. I'm not going to go mad with the pellets, not like you would in the summer. I'm going to ping some pellets down. That's going to be a bomb, and maybe the method over the top. Excuse me. And there's 3 areas over there I've picked out, and I'm going to get my I've clipped up with a 10-foot rod there, but I think if I'm going to be casting a slightly bigger feeder to put some bait down for later on, I'll probably use my 12-foot rod. It just gets there so much easier, a bit more confidence. You're pushing the limits with a 10-foot rod at 40 metres, but I can get there comfortable with it, but I wouldn't like to think I were trying to chuck it any further, to be honest. And then I've got these margins. There was a big bramble here that I've just lifted up with my pole and just shoved it right in, but these margins down here, I don't know how good it is here, but I really fancy these margins for later on. Just down here, we've probably got tight up, we've probably got 2 foot, goes to about 3 foot there. I think that's perfect, and it's exactly the same down here. So what I am going to do, I don't normally do this, the fish have been coming in quite a little bit later, so I'm thinking 3 to 4 o'clock is when these fish could come short, maybe start feeding. It happened when I had a practice on Croft the other day. I had a couple, but it were later on that the fish started feeding. So, you know, the early parts of the match, then we can pick up be a bonus. I'm just hoping they'll come into these margins. They are definitely coming to margins. Now, I'm probably going to target the 3 foot bait to start with, just a little bit off. Just to give them a bit of confidence, because I can always move in, because they'll blow these micros about anyway. But I can always move in if I think that's where they're going to be. And it's a good 2 to 2.5 foot just down there, so happy with that. And like I said, I'll probably have some casts out there on each line, a couple of casts on each line, with the largest method feeder, the traditional flatbed. Put some bait down there, and then go back to like a little bit more discreet, and hope that the fish come in over there as well. So that's the plan. It's all, I could use pole and stuff like that. I have set a pellet waggler rod up just in case I see them coming shallow on these pellets. I'm not exactly right down the middle, because they don't, to keep them accurate, I'm probably at about 20 metres. So well, it is down there, it's 40 metres, isn't it? Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm around the other side where it's a little bit further to get to the other side. It's about 50 metres round the other side, 48 to 50. So that's the plan. It's dead simple, because I'm concentrating on such a method just to try and get a feel for it, and we'll see how we get on today. Hopefully we should get a few fish, and I'm hoping these margins, because I tell you what, the fish I had the other day out of Croft, big fish, and I know they're big in here as well. A few more smaller ones, but there's definitely 20 pounders in here. It'd be nice to get a few of those. So let's see how we go on throughout the day. I think, like I said, I think it'll be a steady start. Hope we pick a few fish up and have a really good finish. That's the plan. Right, about 50 minutes in. Brian to my right's had a car. He's on the far bank, and mine's tip's gone round down the middle of the pellets. It feels like a skimmer. There's been no skimmers caught all winter here. If it is a skimmer, it's a decent one as well. It is, it's a proper one as well, look at that. I don't know. They'd have been like gold in that feeder master winter pairs, skimmers that size. Look at that, it's got the bayonet through it and everything. There we go. Not bad at all. Oh, my towel. Right, I'll go get my towel. I've left my bloody towel up there. I've got to keep walking up and down banking. I don't know. We'll nip and get that towel, because I've got slime everywhere. Nice little bite. And we're off the mark. So we'll get back to you. I didn't even touch camera with all that slime. Well, it has been quite as I expected. Brian's got 2 carp now. I am over at the far bank, tied up against them reeds, and I've just had the strangest bite in the world. I couldn't make out whether it were liners. But once it's bounced a few times, it were only like, you know, like little, it were weird. I thought, I've got a lift on that, and it's a bloody great carp. It feels like a good one as well. But yeah, the strangest biting. Well, it won't. Normally, when you tight it, you get a drop back, but it was nothing like it. It was just weird. It was as if it, I don't know, as if it was stood still, just shaking its head like that, because tip was just weird as anything. I thought it was going to be a skimmer. Very strange indeed. I can feel that line going around its fins. It feels like a good fish. It's not far away now. It's nodding weird. It's I can't explain it. It's everything about it just feels strange. It's definitely a decent fish. I've not seen it properly yet. Oh, it's a monster. Can't believe the bite that I had for the size of this fish. You notice there, as soon as I wanted to lift it up, when I've got my rod like this, it tends to come to the top when it's low. As soon as you want to lift it like that, it wants to try harder. We have got to lift it up at some point. And look at the size of that. That is just ridiculous for the bite that I had. I mean, God, Bennett, it's got to be £12 plus. That's a cracking fish. It's probably £14, him. Maybe 15. Okay. That big I can't even get in between my legs. Okay. Right in the middle of the mouth, bottom lip. Oh, that's an absolute belter. Look at the size of that. What an absolute peach. Now that was worth waiting for. What a lovely fish. And they're the kind of fish that I'm hoping we'll be catching at Larford, which is why I wanted to come here, test the gear out and just see how I'm getting on. Right, that's Andy Kindy. He's wanting to know how I'm getting on, so I'll chat to him and we'll get back to his shop. It's gone round again after 7 minutes. I wasn't even going to record it because I swear to God, that is a skimmer that's magically changed into a carp. Reeled it in. I just thought it was like an 8-ounce skimmer. It must have swum towards me all the way in, and then it's just decided to go, hold on a minute, what's happening here? And it's a carp. I can't believe it. I didn't even think I got it on to start with. Again, bite was on it. Dink dink. Dink dink. It didn't make that noise like, but you know what I'm saying, see. And it feels like a decent fish as well. Literally wound that back in about 10 seconds. All the way from over there. What do I know about fishing? Zero. Magic skimmers changed to carp. It's like Arabian Nights, isn't it? Size of a carp. You say size of an elephant though, didn't he? You youngsters won't know that, but I'm sure you old fogies will. he's putting a decent scrap up now. Apparently, Brian Butler to my right has had 5, but like I say, I'm not looking at him. I can't really see him with these bushes. I can just see he's landing it when it comes out. Brian's had 3 now. This has decided to proper flex its muscles. Can't have tied it out reeling it towards me because it didn't even, like I say, it felt like an 8-ounce skimmer. It's definitely not an 8-ounce skimmer, that is for sure. Come on, son, show your face. Can you hear the wind whistling away? Wowzers. They sure are coming to life. This is what we wanted. We wanted to practice catching these big carp. That's what it's all about. He's not wanting to get his head up at all. So once I put my rod down like that, it doesn't seem to try half as hard. There, look, you see. Oh, I'll try and lift him up. He's having none of it. He's having none of it. He's putting a great fight up. He's putting a mighty battle up, people. Mighty. Come on this time. Nope, he's still not ready. Another big lump. Not as big as the other, but a bloody good fish. Again, 8 to 10 pound, I reckon. Bottom lip again, so everything's working as it should. Nice one, nice big mirror. Look at that bladder. Lovely jubbly. Get in, and Bry's in again. He's on his 4th one. Yes, very nice indeed. This is what we come for, catching some big lumps. You see, I just can't quite see how big his fish are, because well, bloody branches in way and God knows what. Yeah, it's got it. Yeah, it's a good one. It looks like an 8 pounder or so. Hard to tell though from here. There we go. Just like to keep tabs on what people are doing. I think that's his 4th. Get this nice and streamlined, and we'll get that cast out there again. Right, allow for that bit of wind. Lovely, lovely, perfect, mighty cast indeed. What an idiot. You just love it though, don't you? I just love it. It's great, isn't it? I just love catching all these big lumps. Just what the doctor ordered. And that is another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll do 9. It were 8 to 10 pounds. So that gives me roughly £25, I think. 25, 26, maybe 27. I don't know. It's hard to judge. Got 25 down there, so it's steady away, people. Get the timer on now. Right. Over and out. Let's see how we get on. There we go, 5 seconds. Had a jab on it and dropped back and lifted up into another one. I did say it'd take a little bit of getting going, didn't I? But we're getting 1 or 2 now. Andy's just rung when he says he's not had a bite yet, not had a sign. So they're alright, there's some fish around here. Yeah, over at moon with that. That were literally probably, I couldn't have dropped it in a better spot than where it was, because it was where the last feed had dropped, within inches. So they're definitely coming to the bait. I've been feeding the margins. It's 5 to 1. I'll probably put a really positive one in, which is going to be on my left hand margin, and I've just been drizzling bits to my right, so it'll give me an idea. Really positive there. Negative, I've put some bait to my right, but it'll give me an idea whether they're responding to feed, plenty feed, or not. I've put quite a bit more in on purpose, just to have a look, just to give me an idea of what I think. And we can keep trying that all the way up to Larford, just to give me an idea. Yes, you can absolutely ruin your peg with too much feed. As much as they love micros. I'm just feeding micros. I've got some corn. I'll be putting corn down to imitate the yellow wafter. And that's the point. I've changed to yellow wafter because I know people have been feeding corn. It's a nice common. People have been feeding corn all winter. So I've changed to a nice bright yellow wafter. Is it that, or is it they've just turned up on the feed? I don't know. I noticed that yesterday, the yellow wafter was, wow, stay still, was much better than a pink or orange yesterday. Just in the scissors, that just off where it needed to be, and I can't get the bloody thing out. Come here. Easy when it's in the middle of my mouth. It's unhooked itself and it's gone in its bloody fin now. There we go. Nice common, probably £7, 6 or 7. I'll put 7. Get in. Brilliant. Oh, I just love it. Come on, the big fishes. I mean, that was a babby one. What's it? What's it? Tiddler bashing owl. Come on, get yourself sorted out. Some proper ones. Next on the agenda is a big 20. Let's have a 20-pounder. That's what we want. Never mind them 8. Never mind them 6 to 8 pounders. Let's have a 20. That's lovely. Come on, the big carps. Keep coming to Uncle Nosh. Well, I've had another one about £6 or £7. Exactly the same spot. Brian's catching over there as well. He's just had another one. I can't remember how many he's got now. He's probably got 5. Maybe 6. And this is my 5th. So I've got £42 on clicker. I'm not sure how Brian to my right's getting on, because like I say, I can't quite see him properly. I can just about make out Brian. But with the sun being over there, it's definitely kicked in over there. Because I think us three, Brian to my right, Brian to my left, we are catching. Andy says he's still not had a bite, Andy Kinder, and he says feels like it's void of fish. So he was right this morning when he said that there's fish here, so let's just hope we can keep going. And this is what we're after. I was just after, because I've not caught big carp at all over winter, and this is what I wanted. I wanted some catching big carp practice. Prayers have been answered. Weirdest bites though, I'm not kidding. I just can't stress to you, the bites are just ridiculously pathetic. Again, oh you bloody thing. How can you pull it 40 metres and then the hook pull out there? That was another good double figure. You goddamn thing. Well, everything looks okay. That's a shame. I haven't lost many fish over the last 6 months, and why that's just pulled out, I do not know. That's about my 4th fish throughout the winter I've lost, I think. I don't think that's too bad, but you don't want to lose lumps like that, dear. Match winners. God damn it. Let's get back out there. Well, it's been a good hour. Even though I've had like signs, I've had drop backs. I had one that really pulled the rod round. I think it would almost foul up, that one, because I've had a leech on my hook, which I think's come off the fish. So I've had to move, and I've gone left. I think I mentioned earlier there are a few options. I've gone left of where I've been, and I had a drop back. Whether the fish has just moved it as a line or it dropped straight back, I had to lift. And then this one, it's the first proper bite, it's just mullered straight round. Brian's got 7. I've got 4 on that skimmer, and hopefully this one, see if we can get it in. That lost fish, that's going to bloody cost me, innit? I can just see it. But we'll see. But it's just great to be here catching these big fish, giving me the practice that I wanted, putting my gear through its paces. It's exactly what I wanted. They're good fish. It's just getting used to handling these fish again, because we've not caught them all winter. It's been a real tough winter. Yeah, the line's wrapped all over it. How the heck? 6 minutes in, it's gone round again. Felt like a skimmer. It's one of them magic skimmers. It decides to turn into a carp halfway back. It was a pathetic bite again. I'm not bothered how pathetic they are when they're this size though. Come on, fishy. And this little 10-foot Preston Silpera carbon active handles these fish beautifully. One of my favourite rods for this kind of fishing. Wow, he's trying, is this lad? Go on the carp. Come on, son. Keep coming in. Go and say hello. Yeah, come on, son. Oh, around its fins. It's awful, that, eh? Goes around its fins. Don't think this is as big. It seems quite active, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong about it being a skimmer. Come on, the magic skimmer. Oh, they were thinking about showing his face. The sun's behind me, you can see my shadow, the rod shadow. The landing net shadow, so as soon as he sees that, he's off. He's a good one, yeah. He's bigger than I thought. He's just not wanting to get that head up, is he? I think we've got him this time. Yes. I've had a look in the margins. I'm back out there to the left hand side. Now the tip flew round, but I felt it slide on the fish. I think it was a big liner, but it didn't half smash around. It looked like a bite. And I think it's caught it on its fin a little bit. And it's pulled out. I only got 2 winds on it, but it definitely seemed like it was sliding across its body and then got stuck and then come off again. So I've left it 10 minutes. I had a look in the margins. I had 5-minute chucks in the margins. Just have a look. I've had a liner on the left-hand margin. It don't feel like they've come in. It didn't go. I've had no signs on the right-hand margin. That's the negative one. That's the one I've put quite a bit of bait down. So I've gone back out. I'll have a look down here with what we got. We've got 40 minutes to go. I'll have another 20 minutes across there. Then I'll have another look in the margins. Just see if anything's come in. Be nice to nick another 3 or 4 at the end. That's what I'm hoping for, but you just don't know. It's that time of year, isn't it? Just don't know. There's definitely fish across there because I've had a few liners on this cast. The slight liners or the skimmers or the carp, we'll never know. So we're just trying to nick a few more fish. Just to bump that weight up with 40 minutes to do it. Let's see if we can do it. There's a liner there. Is it going to go? I've been done on one. It looked like it was going to go. It's picked it up, blown it out. I've been done on one. So I'm just hoping it's going to go. I seem to be able to wait about 6 minutes or so before it'll actually go now. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next 40 minutes. Well, that's the end of the match, and I've thoroughly enjoyed that. I've learned quite a bit today. There are a few things that I just wanted to have a look at and see what response I can get from it, especially where feeding comes in. And my suspicions were confirmed that even though they are coming in, too much bait kills it. That's at the minute, but that could change. I think you get away with definitely feeding, but I think you've got to work out how much. But today, the fish are definitely coming into margins, and when I fished on Thursday I fed sparingly. Today I thought, no, we'll do the opposite today, and my sparingly fed line was going to be just casting to the other side. I stopped feeding into the middle. I couldn't get them 6 mils accurate enough with that crosswind. You've got to be accurate to get that to work, and sometimes your pellets would just blow. I just give it up as a bad job. So I just thought, no, let's concentrate on that far bank and margins for later, and let's have a look and see what happens. Now, I had one big liner in the left hand margin which I fed the heaviest. I fed them both quite generously really for this time of year, and neither of it has worked. So I think a little bit less feed will probably be key, and not to keep drizzling in during the day. I just wanted to see if I could get them to come in earlier, and they've just not come in at all. And especially where you're on these platforms, they shake a little bit, so there's vibrations going through. The fish will sense that through the water, so they're more cautious in these margins close to you. But the other side, I've caught maybe 2 meters off the bank, and I've caught really tight up to the reeds, so they're definitely coming in. You've just got to watch your feed. So, but the main thing is putting all the gear. I've not caught big carp through the winter. I want to put all the gear that I've got through its paces, just for confidence for when I go down there. You might have seen a couple of times where I know some of you will be like, get back in water. No, not when there's something not quite right with the line. When I've landed a fish, there was, as you could see, they were too big to hold between my legs. They were spinning about, and when I've checked the line above my feeder, it's something I'm sure loads of people won't do, and they'll say, oh, I got broke off. And it'll be that. It'll be something as simple as that. The line had frayed on the net somehow. So it was only about this much. So I've taken that off, retied it. It took me maybe a minute and a half. And I'm back out fishing with what I know is strong line. Once I've gone back out, I've put an extra foot or so on for the second cast. So just bear in mind, check your gear above your feeder. And everybody checks a lot of people will check the hook lengths. I know a lot of people won't, but check your hook lengths. Make sure there's nothing frayed, make sure there's nothing kinked. If it's not right, just change it, and then you know for certain that you've got the best possibility of landing that fish with the right line, and it ain't going to break. And I'm so glad I checked that above up there. As it turned out, I think that was my last fish. I lost a fish right at the net, as you saw. So I've ended up with 5 big carp and 2 good skimmers for £57.14. Now I am going to come again, and I'm not going to experiment too much. I'm going to play it fairly cautious. I'm going to feed it how I think it is for this time of year, and feed where I think it needs to be, especially on my side. I think a little bit further out will probably work better, just in that slightly deeper water for confidence for the fish, unless I've got a nice chuck to another platform that's maybe, what, 13 meters away. Then I think I'd go a little bit closer. I just think the vibrations when you're casting and moving, I just think that might just put them off. I had a liner, it's felt the line. I've had it slack as well, and it's still pulled the line, and then it's gone, and I've had no signs. The other side, that 10-foot rod, it was just perfect for that cast over there today. I don't really like chucking it 40 metres with the 10-foot rod, but them Preston Superiors carbon actives, they're great, and it's got there with ease. I wouldn't want to risk trying to brag about, oh, I've chucked it 50 metres with this. No, I pick an 11 or a 12 foot rod for that. I won't even try and cast that far. I've kept it lovely and accurate. Some of my casting today that I'm absolutely delighted with, I've dropped it in the same honey pot most of the day, apart from when I wanted to move. Now and again you get a gust and it's just gone off, but it's been on the same line, and I've ended up getting bites off it. So really enjoyed that, and it's just got a few, there's thoughts always go through your mind. I wish I'd done this. Why didn't I try this? Well, I've done what I think may work, but more than likely not at this time of year, and it's just cancelled those out for me. And we'll just keep fishing. I'll try and get out twice a week just before the final. 2 practices at Larford, just to get my head around what's happening with the fish, and hopefully have a great weekend at Larford Lakes for the golden rod. That's what this is all about. I'm practicing for that. I know it's not Larford Lakes, but at least it keeps you in touch with what's happening with the fishing. And I'm at Lindome. I can speak to lads there when they've been fishing matches, find out what's happening with the fish there, what they're taking. I know at Lindome they've just started taking pellets. Talking to a few guys, so that's on the change, and it'll go from pellets to castor or maggot at some point. In fact, I think you'd catch on maggot now, especially shallow, but they're getting better fish on pellets, so it's changing. It was all corn and no feed at one point. So things are changing, and that's why I'm doing this. I just want to try and keep up with what's happening. So it's just something, you know, if you're on about fishing a competition somewhere, and you know, I get lots of messages, what tactics. It's difficult to give you tactics because things are changing all the time. I can only give you old news. You've got to get out yourself and have a little practice on a weekend if you get time, and try and work it out yourself what's happening, and speak to people that's fished it. So just a little bit of info for you, but I've thoroughly enjoyed that. I hope you've enjoyed the video. It's building my confidence up for going down to Larford. I need to get some hooks, more hooks retied, check all the gear, a little bit of grease around the reels, make sure everything's spot on. That's all I'm trying to do. So I'll be here next week. I'm going to try again next week. Hope for a good draw, get some big fish heaved out, and we'll have a real proper go at trying to win that match. But having said that, I am not going on pole and stuff like that. It's going to be method, maybe bomb, and we'll see how we get on. So there we go. That's done and dusted. Tea time for me. In fact, I'm going to nip to the pub for a quick pint. Hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget, people, it's absolutely free to subscribe to this channel. And if you click that notification bell, you get all his videos as we upload them, and a thumbs up. Come on, monkey. Yeah. Oh, you don't look very happy. Will be very, very nice. What's a banana, I think. Right, so we'll see you on the bank next time. Not sure where it's going to be. It'll probably be here, I would have thought. Unless I get off, work 3 days on trot, and find a spare day. I might do a feature on a famous peg and see what it's all about. I wanted to do, and I'm not going to give it away. I'll give it away when I actually do the video. So look out for that one. Right. Over and out, that's me done. We out. Take care, and don't forget to fish on.